What is going on, Sports Wars? We're here and we are live for Monday evening quarterback. Week 2 of the NFL is almost over. We got count them two, a double whammy for Monday Night Football. One of those games starting in about 30 minutes at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then the second one starting real late, 8 p.m. start time for Chargers, Raiders.
10
on the
p.m.
West Coast.
10 p.m. Eastern.
10 p.m. Eastern,
Yeah.
7 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a late one. That could go till 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
Mm-hmm.
But we shall see. We saw some crazy games yesterday. We saw some wild finishes in that first little corridor there. So many of those games were within one score. Not Bears, Lions. Didn't have to worry about that one. But virtually all the other games out there were within a score. You had some teams driving. We saw a bunch of injuries, especially at the quarterback position yesterday, including Joe Burrow. We got the news today that Joe Burrow's turf toe, whatever that injury specifically is designated as, it's going to need surgery. He's going to be out a minimum of 3 months. Joe Burrow's done for the season.
Pretty much.
Now, maybe can come back for a playoff run. But in terms of the regular season, Joe Burrow is done. It's over. It's over for Joe Burrow.
For this year.
Yeah.
For this year, pretty much. Yeah. Joe Burrow's out. Justin Fields got concussed yesterday. We saw Tyrod Taylor.
Just for the record, Justin Fields got concussed after first half.
The Bills were already blowing him out.
They were blown out. I don't remember if it was the end of the first half, beginning of the second half when Justin Fields got concussed and Tyrod Taylor comes in.
I think it was the third quarter,
I think it was too.
Quarter.
He had a whole half in there.
Yeah.
That half was one of the worst quarterback performances on record for any quarterback in history. He had a 1.1 QBR, I believe. So Justin Fields concussed. Who knows how long he'll be out? There's so many interesting things to talk about with some of the results from yesterday because
the Patriots Dolphins was a close game.
Yes, Patriots Dolphins came right down to the wire. Jags and Bengals came right down to the wire. Even with Joe Burrow out, the Bengals still somehow win that game. Yeah, there's a lot of
Cowboys
games
went to overtime.
About. Your team, yes. See, what would be better? This is my question for you. I had the significant displeasure of watching my team give up a lead in the fourth quarter and lose the game in a really shitty way last week after looking like they were dominating. Would you rather lose a heartbreaking game like that or just get blown the fuck out?
No, I don't know, man. I don't know because
what felt better? Did it feel better to see another Brandon Aubrey fucking field goal go through the uprights as time expired in overtime and you guys lost? Or when you basically knew about 2 quarters in that the game was over against the Redskins week 1?
I think I'd rather yesterday. It stings more because it's the Cowboys, but at least I saw the potential from the Giants. Russell Wilson looked really good yesterday, and I liked what I saw out of Wan'Dale Robinson. Wan'Dale Robinson had a huge game yesterday, and so did Malik Neighbors. So I'd rather lose, I guess, a heartbreaker like that than just get absolutely blown out, and I just don't even care about finishing the game. I don't know, but it was tough. It was a roller coaster of emotions yesterday, and as soon as that game went to overtime, I knew that it was over for the Giants. I knew that the Cowboys were going to win.
Yeah. I actually texted you in the middle of that game, and I'm like, this shit's crazy.
Yeah.
I was hoping that it would end in a tie because I thought that would have been like the funniest thing to happen. Back and forth, and then ultimately no one can score a fucking point in overtime. We saw how many lead changes did we see in the fourth quarter or something? There was it felt like there were 6 or 7 lead changes in the fourth quarter of that game, and then nobody could score in 10 minutes overtime until time expired.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's the way it is sometimes. Let's go through these scores here. And it brings up some interesting questions because we have so little to compare, but we do have a couple comparative games. So when it's like, hey, the Jets go up against the Steelers, and man, is that more indicative of the Steelers defense being bad, or is it indicative of the Jets could actually be something? And then we see the Jets get absolutely butt fucked against the Bills. So it's like, okay, the Steelers defense is bad. And then we see, Steelers defense is bad. That's just the reality. But let's start with the game of the week. Ben Johnson returning. Ben Johnson returning to Detroit. He was booed. And everybody was like, hey, is this Ben Johnson offense? I got to tell you, if you come away from this game and you're like, God, the biggest problem is just Caleb Williams, just the biggest problem for the Chicago Bears. You are a fucking retard. This defense, dude, this defense could not stop anything. Now, I will say this. Once again, they started the game only down one starter. And then very quickly, Jalen Johnson goes out. Jalen Johnson's probably out for the year with a groin injury. He's probably done, honestly. Who's their top corner and a top 5 corner in the league. That didn't help. And then Edwards, one of their premier linebackers goes down, re-aggravates a hamstring injury, I think in the second quarter as well. But there's no excuse for whoever's in there. 52 points. That is like the 4th most points they've given up in the history of the franchise. A franchise that's been around for forever, quite literally forever. And dude, this fucking offensive line could not stop Aiden Hutchinson, especially once the score got out of hand. Aiden Hutchinson pinned his ears back fucking every single time. Pressure, rollout. The offensive line, every single offensive lineman committed a penalty with the exception of Joe Thuney. Thank you, Joe Thuney. Everybody else did. Consistently, it was, 2nd and fucking 34, 3rd and 24. It was embarrassing. I thought Caleb made probably about 2 mistakes. He threw the one terrible interception. And then there was one pass to Luther Burden that should have been a little more on target. That's pretty much it. Played pretty well. I think overall his pro football focus grade is going to be like a 68, 69, which is okay, which is decent. There are so many more problems with this team. The fact that you cannot get any pressure with your defense, with your front 4, is a problem because it exposes the weaknesses in your back 7. The problem with the offensive line remains. It's just fucking awful. It just is. Those tackles cannot hang against elite pass rushers. And so for the Bears, I think this is what's so frustrating. We were here for the NFL draft, Beardo. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, what am I saying when we're there? It's like, yeah, we definitely do need a running back. DeAndre Swift's not the long-term answer. We need a running back, but really, I'd be fine with, let's just get the best edge available. Let's just get the best defensive lineman available. Let's get the best dude who's going to be able to put pressure on the quarterback. We picked Colston Loveland. Talented tight end, but we already have Cole Kmet who we're paying money to. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, shit, okay, you better fucking use him. One target for Colston Loveland. He's just not in the game plan. Not in the fucking game plan. Not really running routes. Sometimes he's got to help chip because nobody can fucking block, but he's not in the game plan. So why didn't you get an elite edge or another fucking offensive lineman? My God, draft another tackle. Who do we take with our first pick in the fucking 2nd round? A wide receiver, Luther Burden, who looks like he could be fucking skilled as hell. He's the 4th wide receiver. He had 2 targets in the game. So, you have so many fucking holes on the team, in the trenches specifically, but we wasted those draft picks. And it's tough to say it's a waste because I think both those guys are going to be really good at some point. Maybe not for this team, but I think both of them are really talented. But you're drafting these guys in the positions that you don't need to fill and ignoring your needs. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's just more fucking arrogance from Ryan Poles, the GM, and not getting it done where it needs to be done. You need to be able to do something on the line of scrimmage. Mm-hmm. And Ben Johnson, 2nd fucking game. I'm not going to be super hard on him, but you got to know what you're working with. Let me put a scenario to you. It's a 1-score game. Detroit is, I think Detroit was up 21 to 14 maybe, or 14 to 7, something around that. It's 3rd and 1 around the 50-yard line. Try quarterback sneak. Nobody moves. Not a single offensive lineman could move anybody. Just got fucking stuffed. What do they run for 4th and 1? the same fucking play, quarterback sneak, same fucking result. So it's look, if you can't keep a pocket, let's get some fucking rollouts. Let's do those play action fucking rollouts. Let's do something. Let's do something to not have to, for your fucking scheme where you need people to play on time, you need time to throw the ball. And that's just not happening. It's just constant Caleb Williams having to evade a sack and escape pressure and do whatever. So something has to get fixed. He played pretty well, honestly. 2 touchdowns, 1 really bad interception that should have been a throwaway, a couple massive drops that would have extended drives, huge drops by Rome Odunze, who played great. But, dude, this defense was embarrassing. The line was embarrassing. Pre-snap penalties, holding penalties, giving up pressures. A really inopportune fumble by DeAndre Swift when they were driving in the first half that obviously, changed momentum. Detroit came there with a fucking message to send to Ben Johnson. They said, hey, we remember you left, buttfucker. How about this? And they were rolling. Jared Goff, I think in the second half was perfect. He was like 16 for 16 in the second half, 5 touchdowns. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 3 touchdowns, 120 yards or something. Just a fucking massacre. Just embarrassing in every fucking way. And if you want to talk about what the concerns are for the Bears, I know that's what everybody in the media is talking about. The media didn't actually watch this game. They just look at fucking whatever people are saying online. Like the idea that Caleb Johnson or that Caleb Williams is the biggest problem with the Bears, you couldn't be further from the fucking truth, bro. It's just not. And I don't know what they do to turn it around. They play the Cowboys next week. I fucking hate this team so much. I fucking hate them with every fiber of my being. But this is who they are. Did you get to watch any of it?
I did watch it. I had it on the 4x4 picture-in-picture, along with the Giants game, the Bills game, and then Red Zone. How you feel about Caleb Williams and the media's perception about Caleb Williams, and how you personally feel about Caleb Williams is how I felt about Daniel Jones with his tenure with New York. I watched every single fucking game, and Daniel Jones, clearly, what we're seeing him do in Indy wasn't the fucking problem. But everybody and their fucking mother, including, a lot of you guys, we're saying Daniel Jones is fucking ass. Daniel Jones is terrible. Daniel Jones fucked the Giants with that contract. And you should have paid Saquon, which I agree you should have paid Saquon, found a way to make Saquon work. Daniel Jones wasn't the fucking problem in New York, I'll tell you that. It was the offensive line, similar to what you're saying with the Bears right now. And that's the question. That's the question, whether you prioritize offensive line or you prioritize weapons. And maybe Ben Johnson was in the ear of your general manager saying, let's get weapons because he's confident with the quarterback play. Personally, I'm under the belief that offensive line is key, and then you give the quarterback time to go through progressions, and then you can have your average to above average weapons to get open and have time back there. But maybe they're under the belief that, hey, we got our guy Caleb Williams, and if he can make some quick passes to some, your highly skilled players, then if he gets the ball out quick, we don't need to have a stellar offensive line. That is not my belief on how you should structure an offense, but maybe that's what they're doing in Chicago, and maybe they feel like they're going to shore up that offensive line in the next couple of years to come, but maybe they felt confident in Caleb Williams' ability to make decisions to get it out to your skilled position players that you drafted high in this year's draft. And you also have Rome Odunze and DeAndre Swift and stuff. And DeAndre Swift is fine for right now, but I mean, he hasn't been in the league for forever. He is a journeyman. He is a journeyman. He hasn't been around forever, but he also feels like he's long in the tooth,
He is kind of for a running back, right? But
yes,
the thing with DeAndre Swift is there are some things he's very good at. He's very good at, runs that are focused on kind of busted outside, right? Hey, you pull somebody, a tackle comes off, and you kind of follow him, make one guy miss on the outside. I don't think a strong suit of his is kind of zone running in the middle of the field there, like in between, like guard center, stuff like that. I really don't. But it's also tough because you paid the top center on the market money to go there. You extended one of the top guards on the market to come there. And both of them have been pretty big disappointments so far in their inability to really do much blocking for the run. You've got your two tackles who are like Darnold had a bad game last week. Braxton Jones had a bad week this week. Braxton Jones was in fucking hell against Aiden Hutchinson. And so to me, you gotta be able to realize for some of the stuff that you're calling, if you don't have the time to do that, then it's not going to work.
What side of the offensive line?
Braxton Jones, the left
Braxton
tackle.
Jones, he's your left tackle. Okay.
Yeah. Darnell Wright's the right tackle, the one that got called for that bogus holding play last week. So
yeah, well, the right side of your offensive line last week was in fucking shambles. Just mistake after mistake after mistake between the guard and the tackle. For the Lions yesterday, to focus on the Lions, they got embarrassed by Green Bay last week. Also coming in, you get embarrassed within your division. You want to beat up on the next team you play. And also, they had some extra motivation because Ben Johnson is now your enemy, a guy that they've spent a lot of time with for a long time in Detroit there. One of the best offensive minds in the league. He jumped ship to a division rival. The Lions had extra motivation to go in there yesterday and just beat up on the Bears. And that's exactly what they did, man. Jared Goff looked fucking great.
He did. And the Bears defense looked awful. They just did. There's no getting around it. Look, everyone deals with injuries, period. So yeah. Kyler Gordon, your starting DB, is out. Your fucking star cornerback comes back, immediately gets hurt after making a great play on the ball. So you're out your two starting DBs. Tyreek Stevenson looked rough. He looked rough. And now you're dealing with guys that you sign off the practice squad and shit like this. If you do that, if those are the guys that are forced to try to cover these fucking weapons, then you got to blitz. You got to fucking blitz because you don't have time. You don't have time to let Jared Goff sit back there. They got 4 hits on the quarterback in the entire game. So I'm done talking about this game. It was fucking awful and embarrassing. And to me, it's very indicative when the guys that you're wasting your not wasting, but using your premier draft picks on aren't being utilized at all. When it's clear there's so many holes in the most important parts of this fucking team.
Yeah.
So it sucks. There are other games yesterday. Yeah, Raging Cajun, you dumb fucking bitch. We're going to talk about all of them. I just got to vent. Guess what? It's my fucking show. So maybe we will talk about this entire game. We'll go drive by fucking drive. How about
honestly,
that?
Between me and Ryan talking about the Bears, Lions, and the Giants, Cowboys, we can probably put together an hour and a half long show just on those 2 games.
We probably could. But before we get to that one, we're going to get to Jags, Bengals. Now, I felt pretty confident about the Bengals going into this game. Thought they were going to win, but I was like, it'd probably be close. Then Joe Burrow goes down.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow went down, in the second quarter?
Early. It might have even been the first fucking quarter.
I felt like it was maybe sometime, either way, it was in the first half.
Yes.
Joe Burrow goes down. There's some kind of chaos in the pocket. He's jumping and hopping around, kind of avoiding people, gets tackled a little funny by the foot, goes down, and is writhing in pain. Turns out he hurt his toe. He kind of hobbles back to the locker room. We hear that he's out. Long story short, Joe Burrow needs surgery, and he's done for the next 3 months.
Yep.
So probably tore a ligament or some shit in there.
It was, yeah. So grade 3 turf toe. Like, turf toe is so vague. So yes. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but I'm assuming it's the ligament on top of one of your toes. I'm assuming it's his big toe the tendon. I'm assuming it's that big tendon on top of the big toe that got somewhat torn for Joe Burrow, because he is going to need surgery. He's going to be out for the next 3 months, which is pretty much the rest of the NFL season. And at that point, if the Bengals have a losing record, why even fucking put him back in there? But Jake Browning made some awful throws yesterday, some big mistakes, but he also did lead the team back at the end of the fourth quarter to win the fucking game. So is that indicative of how bad the Jaguars are, that you let Jake fucking Browning come in and keep this game competitive, or what? But the Bengals squeak away with the win yesterday. But Yeah, sucks for the Bengals to lose Joe Burrow. And this has kind of been the story for the Bengals and Joe Burrow's tenure here. It's like a season injured, a season healthy, a season injured, and then a season healthy. And every time he comes back with that season healthy, he's like,
it's like, boom, bitch.
He's the best quarterback in the fucking league, man. He's the top passer in the league every time he comes after a season where he got injured. And that's just a story, man, of Joe Burrow. And it sucks because I think when Joe Burrow's healthy, he is one of the top 3, if not top 2, best quarterback as far as a pure passer in the league.
Yeah. And look, now if you're the Bengals, you're sitting there and thinking, and we should also say Jacksonville helped beat themselves. They did not capitalize on some of the opportunities they had later in that game to score some touchdowns. But all credit to the Bengals for doing what they were able to do. And Browning, he threw some really bad interceptions, but
yes,
they somehow got it done, man.
It looked like he was throwing it to the defender.
Like there were some bad ones. Yeah. But I do think that brings up a point for the Bengals. It's like, what do you do? The first thing I thought of, and I told you this kind of right before the show, immediately when I saw the news this morning, I was at the gym, news broke, Joe Burrow out for 3 months. I thought Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
Kirk Cousins, who we saw standing on the sideline with his helmet on the entire fucking game for the Falcons yesterday. Kirk Cousins wants to play. Kirk Cousins does not want to be the backup quarterback in Atlanta. Kirk Cousins, in theory, could be available. Kirk Cousins also getting paid a lot of fucking money. Yeah. Now he's getting paid that money whether Atlanta trades him or not. So maybe the Bengals, who are paying a lot of money out to a lot of different people now, maybe they find a way to take a little bit of that on, give up enough, and maybe you can get Kirk Cousins for the regular season. That might be something that they look at, possibly. I think they do something. I don't know if they're comfortable with Jake Browning for 15 more games.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if the Bengals do pursue Kirk Cousins. I've also seen that the Bengals are trying to inquire about Jameis Winston from the Giants, who's just sitting there, who said it was like 2 days ago. He said that he wants to be a starter in the league. He's fine, coaching up the younger talent and being a mentor to the younger talent in New York, but he doesn't want to be a third stringer. Like, he wants to be a guy that he knows can get in there if something happens. And if something happens to Russell Wilson, it ain't going to be Jameis Winston. It's going to be Jackson Dart. So I know that the Bengals are inquiring about Jameis Winston, but let's switch it back to Kirk Cousins here. It all depends on what the Bengals are willing to give up. If it's future draft picks, which would suck for just like an interim, lease on a quarterback that isn't going to be your long-term quarterback. He's just going to be a lease for 1 year. So what are you willing to give up? Is it going to be players? Is it going to be picks? Is it going to be a little bit of money? And also, Atlanta doesn't want to keep paying Kirk Cousins' contract if he's going to be a backup. So does Atlanta buy out some of his contract and then the Bengals have to, start paying off the rest of it? It's going to be very interesting depending on if Kirk Cousins is the guy that Cincinnati wants to go and get. I think it's more realistic, to be honest, Ryan, if they do go out and get a guy like Jameis Winston, who is already on a 1-year contract, who already isn't making too much money. I think Jameis Winston's making like $9 or $10 million for 1 year. And you're done with him. You're one and done with him. He takes over for this one season, and then he's a free agent afterwards, and Jameis Winston can do whatever the fuck he wants to do, rather than Kirk Cousins, who's on a multi-year deal, who is making a lot of fucking money. I think it's more realistic for the Bengals to get one of those guys like a Jameis Winston than Kirk Cousins, but you never know.
Somebody in the chat mentioned Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton, yeah.
Possibly Andy Dalton. Get back in those stripes for Andy Dalton, a little homecoming. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Honestly, I feel like the Jameis Winston experience is going to be exactly the stat line that Browning put up. Fucking 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks.
Yeah.
That's
might
what
be 3 touchdowns and 3 picks though. One more touchdown. I think Jameis Winston is just a slight step above Jake Browning. You know who else is out there who's a third stringer?
Who?
Your boy, Case Keenum.
I don't want Case Keenum going anywhere. Case Keenum right now, I think he has exactly the deal he wants. Case Keenum is at the point in his career where he's like, yeah, I'm just going to come and practice and shit and talk to the other quarterbacks and never have to do anything. That's Case Keenum likes where he is right now, I think.
Yeah. I don't want Jameis Winston to go anywhere either. I like having him in the locker room for the Giants. But the reality is that these third stringers with a lot of experience in the league, they're going to be pretty valuable. Who are on a, short contract, not making too much money, rather than Kirk Cousins. But you never know. We'll see.
Cosmic Thunder for 5. What are you guys picks called in the Pick'em League? I don't see you. Or are you not in there? I'm in there. I think mine's just called like Arkennel or something. However,
I am not in the Sports Wars one.
I'm fucking pissed because all my picks were exactly what I listed out when we were here. And obviously I arranged them by confidence. I must have either not saved it or something fucked up with the app because none of them held. Like none of them were what I had picked. So I got 0 points for this entire fucking week.
Whoa. Like it glitched out?
Yeah, like either because I was using the app and then when I looked like before the game, I looked on the ESPN thing and they were off. Like the end of the day, I looked and none of them were in there.
Dude.
So I'm fucking pissed.
Shador Sanders to the Bengals?
That's not happening. Buffalo Bills rule all. # Bills Mafia. Shout out West Texas. Emily Kruger for 5. Cam Scadaboo had a great game yesterday for the Giants.
He did. He
had some big moments.
Yes, he did.
Tough runs.
Mm-hmm.
Eric K with 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, Eric. Shout out Eric K.
Thank you, Eric K.
Power. Edward, roses are red, violets are blue. The Bears suck ass, and Ryan's miserable for it too.
Good one.
Bro. They were so fucking pathetic yesterday. And it's like, oh shit, look at that. Caleb Williams run up the middle, pick up that first down, 11 yards. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Little handoff up the middle. Oh, 2nd and 8. All right, next play. Oh shit, there's a strike in the middle. Oh wait, holding. Fuck. Oh wait, that's not holding. That's a chop block. 15-yard penalty. 2nd and 23. And all right, 2nd and 23. Fucking strike up the middle, 5 yards short of the first down. Roman Dunze drops it. It's like, fuck. Fucking kill me. Stephen De Leon for 2. Notre Dame rules all. Notre Dame sucks, bro.
0-2, bro. Come on, Steven.
Eric K, my picks have sucked so far this year. I might start taking Beardo's advice. I've not even broken even. There you go.
I was right on a lot of games yesterday. There were some I wasn't.
That's typically how it goes.
Yeah.
I got most of them right, I think. Did you take the Titans?
I did take the Titans.
Yeah.
Oh, you took the Dolphins, did you not?
I did take the Dolphins.
Yeah. I was on the 49ers, the Patriots. You guys said...
Were you on the Seahawks?
No, I was on the Steelers.
I said Colts, baby. You did too.
I said Colts. I said Colts as well.
I think you took Falcons. Did you take Falcons?
I did take Falcons. Yep. I took Falcons, Cardinals, Eagles, and Falcons. And what was it? Bills. I think you guys yesterday said that the Jets were going to keep it close. And I said,
I thought it was going to be I didn't think it was going to be a blowout game, you know?
I said yesterday on Sports Wars the Bills were going to fucking cover. That they were just going to blow out and shit stomp the fucking Jets.
Bro, the Jets look so fucking bad. Anyway.
I'm happy about that one.
Let's get to the next game, which I'm excited to talk about. Giants.
Yeah.
Giants fall short to the Cowboys. Look at that fucking heartbeat in that fourth quarter when it looked at the win probability, dude. Boom, 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 boom. That is wild. Look at the fourth quarter. 21-20 in the fourth. 41 points were scored in the fourth quarter of this game.
Yeah.
So why don't you take it away?
Well, I'm not sure if you watched the first drive of the Giants. The Giants got the ball first quarter.
We were still live, I think, when the first drive happened, so I probably didn't catch that one, but I know they scored, yeah.
Yeah, I caught it like at the very beginning of their first drive in the first quarter. Our offensive lineman, he's filling in at left tackle for the injured Andrew Thomas. This guy's named Hudson III. This guy committed four penalties on one drive, Ryan. Yeah. That is the first time in 10 years that a single player has committed 4 penalties, personal penalties, in one fucking drive. The first time in 10 years. Penalties killed the Giants yesterday. Killed the Giants. Offensive penalties, whether it was offensive pass interference, holding, illegal hands to the head. There was a swatting penalty. Swatting to the head. I never even fucking heard of this. That guy, 55, Hudson III, punched a guy in the fucking head when he got beat. This guy, dude. And then he got benched. He got pulled.
Yeah, and he was mad. He was triggered.
He was trying to fight Brian Dable and shit like that, screaming at him, fucking trying to get back on the field. It's like, dude, you fucking stink. Okay.
There was one play I saw where there were 3 separate Giants penalties, and thank God they got bailed out by CeeDee Lamb taunting.
By one. Yeah. So
it was CeeDee Lamb was like pointing and laughing, and the new stupid taunting rule, he got a flag and then offset all your shit.
Yeah, that was one play. There was 2 Giants offensive penalties and then 1 on the Cowboys. So all the penalties offset, and I was like, oh, thank God. Thank fucking God. Russell Wilson played a great game yesterday. Very confident back there. His deep ball, man. His deep ball is great. He figured out a point in the second quarter where he's like, I'm just going to fucking chuck it deep to Wan'Dale Robinson or Malik Neighbors, and they're going to come down with it. Like, he's so accurate on that deep ball. Cam Scattaboo, I love what I saw from him yesterday. He was just a very aggressive runner yesterday. He's also good in the pass block game, man. Dude is just a fucking bowling ball. Like, you can't fucking stop him. Like, as far as like when he's blocking, you just can't get past him. I loved what I saw from the Giants yesterday, but unfortunately our defense, we kept the Cowboys in it. Penalties, pass interferences, leaving guys like George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb wide open sometimes. And then you have a good play where you just fucking stuff them, and it's like a 3rd and 12, and then of course Dallas converts. It was heartbreaking, man. And as soon as the game went to overtime, I knew that the Giants were going to lose. I texted you. I said, game's not over. Giants are going to lose in overtime. I texted you verbatim. Giants lose in overtime. Yeah. And I mean, that's exactly what happened. When the Cowboys have a kicker in Brandon Aubrey, when all you need to do is get the ball to the 50-yard line and he can kick a 65-yard field goal, which he did do yesterday. Like, it's tough to beat that, man. It's tough to beat that when the Cowboys only need, after a kickoff, 15 to 20 yards just to get into field goal range. That's tough to stop. But I'm happy with what I saw with the Giants yesterday. I'm not thrilled that we lost to the fucking Cowboys. I believe this is 11 matchups, 11 games against the Cowboys in a row that the Cowboys won. We haven't beat the Cowboys in 11 fucking games, I believe.
That's rough.
And the Giants always play the Cowboys good in Dallas. We play the Cowboys better in Dallas than we do in New Jersey. But anyways,
Jerry Bill. When I was looking at the game, some of those early drives you guys had in that first half where you were moving the ball effectively, but then you stymied and had to settle for field goals.
And that was because of penalties.
Yeah, and it felt like those were going to come back to haunt you because, like, Dallas could not do much offensively for the first half of this game. But you just felt like it was kind of only a matter of time before they got some things rolling and got some drives going. And eventually, obviously, they did. And they were just moving up and down the field right with you guys.
Those 6 points in the first quarter could have easily been 14.
Yeah. That's kind of what I saw when I looked at it. So.
And then we also had some packages. I think Jackson Dart came in and played 3 plays.
That was really weird.
It was like, weird. It was weird.
He came on, did 1 play, then ran back off. Russell Wilson did a play, then he came on, and then it was very stupid and weird and nonsensical, especially when it was just like Jackson Dart handing the ball off or Jackson Dart running to the left.
And I think all 3 of them came in the first in one drive in the second half, or at least 2 of them were in one drive, and one of them was in the drive after that. His first 2 plays that he came in were just handoffs to Scattaboo, and then the third play they did a zone read option. And he slipped and fell and got sacked. And then he didn't come back in after that. I'm like, what are you doing? What are we doing here?
It's kind of the same things they were doing.
Smith, Colin Kaepernick fucking bullshit where you're going in. At least they gave Kaepernick a fucking drive or a few plays in a row. And then you put Alex Smith back in. What are we doing just putting Dart in for 1 play? It's not like he's this super athletic fucking speedster runner guy. He's not like, he has legs, but it's not like he is a mobile quarterback like like Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, where he's a threat on the ground and with his legs. Russell Wilson had some plays on his legs yesterday too, picking up quite a few first downs on his legs, which I appreciated. They felt like the Russell Wilson of old back in Seattle, where he used to do that all the time. But why are you putting Dart in there for one play, take him out, put in Russ for the rest of the drive, and then the next drive, put Dart in there for one play, and then just take him out and let Russ go with it? Like, pick one. I don't want to see Dart yet.
Especially when Wilson was playing well, you know what I mean?
He was playing very well.
He turned the clock back, man. It felt like it was 2013 again for a while in this game. Big numbers from Russ and just a crushing loss in overtime. Brandon Aubrey hits a 64-yard field goal to tie it as time expires, and then he hit another field goal to win it as time expired in overtime.
Yep.
So
huge. It's promising from what I saw from the Giants yesterday, but damn it, it's still a fucking loss to the gosh damn Cowboys. So it sucks.
And the first game is underway, by the way. Buccaneers, Texans. So, couple more chats, and we'll get to Rams, Titans. Eric said that one Blue-Eyed Scorpio Broncos loss was scripted by Mossad. Hey, I scripted it, just so you know. Thunderstrike for 5. The time of Danny Dimes is over. The time of Indiana Jones has begun. That name hits hard. I'm just saying. It really does. Chris Cran, let's fucking go Buccaneers. Sports Wars rules. Thanks, Chris. American Man. This is one Cowboys-Giants game I'm not going to forget anytime soon. And they're in one ear and out the other. It was sloppy. What a ball game. Go Cowboys. I like your Blake Trinan profile picture, by the way. Hall in the goods. It must suck to be a Bears fan and a Giants fan. Go Eagles. It really does. I wished I lived in an existence where my quarterback could never throw the ball and we could just line up our really good offensive linemen and like go down the field 1 yard at a time. I wish that was the case. Unfortunately, my team is not built that way. Hasib Mian for 5. I don't buy the Giants offense looking good. My Cowboys defense is just dog shit. Any team will look good against them this season. That is possibly true. We'll see next week when the Bears play the Cowboys. We'll see. Scadaboo's career may be shorter than the Nigerian Nightmare's career. Scadaboo's running style is taxing. Needs to be short yardage only.
He's a fucking rookie.
I think he can handle it.
Yeah.
I think he can handle it. But yeah, I mean, that is his style, right? He's not a shifty guy. He's a guy who's going to fucking seek contact and run you over. And yeah, that might not result in a 10-year fucking career, but those are few. I'm sorry to tell you, those are few and far between for NFL running backs, period. NFL running backs do not have a long lifespan.
Yeah. Yep.
Rams, Titans. I think you called for the big ol' upset in this.
I did.
It did not happen. The LA Rams pretty much controlled like the second half of this game. The first half, I think they went to halftime down.
The first half, Tennessee had them in the first half. It was a pretty competitive game. I liked what I saw from the first half for my pick yesterday for Tennessee. But yeah, the Rams just came out in the second half and just took care of business.
Yeah, but between Puka Nacua and Adams and those guys, they were able to finally kind of get on the same page. Stafford had a great game. And Cam Ward, some flashes, some good plays. He had one. Was it the touchdown where he kind of escapes, does his thing, rolls all the way to right, throws completely across the field to his guy in the end zone? A great play for that touchdown. But unfortunately, some of that was a little few and far between. I didn't get to watch particularly too much of the game other than some of the highlights and some of the stuff that I got when I was watching Red Zone. But it looked to me like, especially in that second half, kind of the way the Rams started last week. Rams started off a little bit slow and they just kind of got things rolling and took care of business. And I think this is a really solid Rams team. A really solid Rams team.
I'm not going to argue against that.
And right now, NFC West, I mean, you got Cardinals are 2-0, Rams 2-0, Niners 2-0,
Seahawks 1-1.
Seahawks 1-1. So we'll see. A lot of people were high on the Rams going into this year. I thought they'd be really good. I don't know about like Super Bowl good or whatever, but we'll see. They got to get off to better starts. It's clear they're like more talented than this team. It's clear that they should have probably started quicker than they did. They didn't. I think they'll get it fixed. Sean McVay's good head coach. So yeah.
Still liking what I see out of the poise from Cam Ward in the pocket.
He seems like a pretty chill dude, you know?
Yeah.
Seems like a pretty chill dude. Patriots Dolphins. This was also a very tight game.
Exciting game, surprisingly.
A what?
A surprising game. Exciting. A surprising, exciting game is what I meant to say.
A surprising, exciting game.
Yeah.
You know, I picked the Dolphins by a hair in this one. You know, I thought if this game had been played in New England, I probably would have picked the Patriots. I picked the Dolphins. Did Tua only have one interception?
Apparently, that's what it's saying here.
I thought he had another turnover. Maybe it was a fumble or something. But anyway, Tua with a rough pick to really kind of end this game. Drake May played really solid. Again, you can see the numbers there. 19 for 23, only threw the ball 23 times, had 2 touchdowns. I think he punched one in as well, rushing. They weren't great running the ball. What does time of possession look like in this game? What's time of possession? So the Patriots 33-45. I guess maybe it just because the Dolphins run such a faster pace, it felt like they were running more plays. But yeah, not effective on the ground in any way, shape, or form for the Dolphins. Basically, no run game. You saw Tyreek Hill with the normal frustrations that we've seen from him. Yep. He did go over 109 yards. He got missed on a couple of big wide, like he had a dig route that he was just wide open for that Tua sailed way over his head that he was getting really frustrated with. Certainly a better performance from the Dolphins than we saw last week, but honestly, it just does feel like only a matter of time before Mike McDaniel is just done.
Yeah, I think he's completely lost the locker room. And then if you've seen in his post-game press conference yesterday, he just seemed like he wasn't invested, like he didn't care. But the Patriots yesterday was some big plays yesterday. So I liked what I saw from the Patriots yesterday. This happened to be a pretty exciting game that I thought a lot of us thought was going to be a stinker, but wound up being a pretty damn good game.
It certainly was exciting. And it did come right down to the wire. Dolphins had a chance.
Yep.
Dolphins had a chance. 49ers Saints. Mac Jones versus Spencer Rattler. And, Kyle Shanahan, kind of as he's shown over the years, doesn't really matter who's a quarterback. He'll find a way to get things done. Now, I got to say, I thought the San Francisco 49ers would win this game. I thought the Saints had a chance to hang in there, and they did hang in there. I didn't have Mac Jones 3 touchdown passes on my radar, but I think you did.
I told you yesterday. I said it on Sports Wars. I might have even said 3, like specifically on the nose. That Mac Jones is a backup quarterback that you like to have for maybe 1 or 2 weeks. You don't want him as a long-term starter, but he's kind of like a Ryan Fitzpatrick or Joe Flacco guy that you bring in when you need to, and he'll be good for, or like a Gardner Minshew. He'll be pretty damn solid for about 1 or 2 games, and that's about all you want him for. And I said Mac Jones might throw 3 touchdowns today, and that's exactly what he fucking did, man. But you're right. Juwan Jennings with the touchdown. Juwan Jennings, key piece to that offense. I'm glad he was back healthy this week. So, yeah, I mean, Kyle Shanahan getting it done with whatever quarterback's in there.
Pretty much, which is, again, it is just something that we've kind of seen throughout. You know what I mean? Will, hold on. I see Will in the chat. I swore, Will, I sent you a fucking link. I guess it didn't go through on Twitter. You probably just think I'm fucking ignoring you. What the fuck? That's bullshit. I don't know if you can still come on, Will. But I sent you a link at like 6 o'clock and said, hey, if you've got time, hop on the stream. But there you have it. Will was giving you props in the chat.
I saw that. Yeah.
So shout out to Will.
Shout out.
Christian McCaffrey. I felt like the fact that he only had 13 carries in this was shocking to me. I thought 100% that he would have more. So, he says all good, couldn't make it. Okay. That was really weird. I fucking hate Twitter DMs sometimes. But But how the heck did the Ravens score 41 and Henry got 0 touchdowns? Ruined my big parlay.
He's not a top running back as far as fantasy goes. I mean, only if somebody would have said that, 3 weeks ago.
Well, hold on. You didn't even say like as far as fantasy goes. You're like Derrick Henry's gonna have a down year. He's slowing down. That's what you said.
Oh, no touchdowns yesterday.
He did. Lamar had a couple big strikes.
Lamar had a great game yesterday.
Lamar had a great game. A couple like longer touchdowns, including one crazy one to DeAndre Hopkins. Which whenever we get to that game, we'll get to that game. But for the Saints, look, Spencer Rattler has not won a single game as a starting quarterback. I believe he is 0-8 as a starting quarterback.
Right.
The first person to go 0-8 in your first 8 starts since Deshaun Kaiser, I think. But I will say this for the Saints. They stay competitive, man. It felt like that last year at times too with Spencer Rattler and stuff. It does feel like they hang around. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy they haven't been able to win any of these games.
Right. Yeah. I think they're a really good quarterback away. I mean, of course, probably a few pieces. Kamara is definitely one of those guys that's well overdue, long in the tooth, that they're going to need to find a guy to succeed Kamara. Maybe a few key wide receiver pieces away as well, but definitely at quarterback, you need what's his face, old boy, new head coach. What's his fucking name? Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore
needs his guy down there in New Orleans.
I will say Alvin Kamara understands the assignment that he's like, yeah, we're on a shit team. I'm not going to get hurt for this. He does a very good job of avoiding big hits, you know? Like I've seen him just like kind of go down in the middle of the field before, like instead of get a couple extra yards because he knows he'd have to like get contact, which, I mean, if you think your team's going to be competitive, you don't want to see that, but I understand it when it comes to Alvin Kamara. Sticking in the league another year, you know?
Bucks are driving right now.
Buffalo Bills, New York Jets.
Josh Allen broke his nose in this game.
Josh Allen got his
for a drive.
Broken. Somebody was on like a little quarterback keeper up the middle, and somebody fucking brought their paw right in his mask. I don't know if it hit the mask hard enough for the mask to hit it, or at the actual hand hit his nose.
I think his thumb, the defender's thumb, went and broke his fucking nose through the face mask.
Possibly. Either way, he ran off the field just fucking bleeding out of his schnoz. And Mitch Trubisky converted a third down for him, I believe, before Josh Allen went back in. But he was bleeding bad. And honestly,
he was bleeding really bad.
He did not look good after he came back. He didn't look all that great before he went out necessarily. But the Bills' run game, James Cook had a great fucking game.
Yep.
A couple really impressive runs, and they didn't need to do much else. The Jets looked like shit. Keep in mind, this is a Buffalo Bills team.
Bucks.
This is a Buffalo.
Sorry.
This is a Buffalo Bills team that gave up like 40 or whatever to Baltimore, right? They could not stop the run. They could not do anything.
Right.
They looked like the goddamn steel curtain out there against this New York Jets team, who looked really good against the Steelers in terms of being able to run the ball and move the ball, at least. Justin Fields had one of the worst statistical games in the history of any quarterback ever before he got injured. Maybe he could have, brought that back. But Justin Fields does get a concussion. Tyrod Taylor comes in, doesn't look all that much better. But we can look at the box score. I want to look at Justin Fields' final numbers. 3 for 11.
Yeesh.
For 27 yards, 2 sacks, a QBR of 1.1.
Yikes.
A passer rating of 39. How low does the passer rating go? I think it only goes down to like 30 something, right?
I couldn't tell you.
Because the highest is 158.3, right? That's like the perfect passer rating. It only goes down to like 30 something. Historically bad, but we'll see when Justin Fields comes back for them. Hope he gets healthy. But the Bills.
Justin Fields.
Yeah. Bro, dude, it's actually really funny because I saw some of those fucking Justin Fields stan accounts that I hate. They've announced that they're like retiring and they're like deleting their Twitters after that performance and then him getting concussed. They're giving up on Justin Fields, which is funny.
That's funny. Yeah.
How could you?
Bills blowing out the Jets yesterday. I had that one.
I mean, this is just like
Yeah,
complete
gross.
domination, you know?
Yep.
Like never a doubt when you look at that win probability. American man, also the Cowboys signing Jadeveon Clowney after the game is a surprise I didn't expect. Jerry saw that defense and signed immediately. Yes. Jadeveon Clowney, this fucking right before they play the Bears, Jadeveon Clowney gets signed to the Cowboys. So looking forward to that. Seahawks, Steelers. Now over on Rumble, John Getz for $1 said, play-by-play for you guys 2 games so you don't talk about my Steelers, please. They're going to get Rodgers killed, and they'll count it as a COVID death. Yes, the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers with a couple picks, including a bad one, by the way. Aaron didn't look great. He was under pressure at times. Sam Darnold threw a couple picks himself. But what really changed for this Steelers team was that kickoff. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I didn't get to catch too much of this game.
Oh my goodness, dude. Watch this. So
to stabilize the team and the offense and go
here's
win
a kickoff.
some of these fourth.
Now, new rules, right?
Yes.
New rules for the kickoff and all that bullshit. So the kickoff bounces. It takes a weird hop. Goes over a player's head, and he just decides it's all good.
Quarter tight ball games.
Oh, bad bounce goes through the hands of.
Ball's sitting there in the end zone. He didn't touch it, but it's also a live ball because it's a kickoff, just like an onside kick or anything else. It's a live fucking ball, and he just like, oh shit, missed it, man.
Johnson,
fucking Seahawks run down.
Ball. That would be a live ball.
Somehow establishes himself in bounds. That's a touchdown.
It is a
touchdown.
Wow.
Seahawks. That
Wow.
changed the course of this game, dude. Because at that point, it's 14-17. Steelers going to get the ball back in the fourth quarter. Plenty of time. Go kick it. Like, not only plenty of time, tons of game left. But it's a one-score game. Perfectly manageable. All of a sudden, it's 10 points. Like that. On a fucking mistake on the kickoff. And I think they're going to show it here. Like, it took a bad bounce. But
Make sure he touched
bro,
it.
Okay, so you missed it.
But again,
go fucking get it.
Zone, yeah,
and if it goes out of the
go
back of
get
the,
the ball,
zone,
bro.
at the 20.
At the 20.
Just how fucking stupid can you be?
Yeah.
But Rodgers, not an efficient game. He was under a significant amount of pressure from a lot of the game that I saw. One of the picks he threw was very, very fucking bad. A hugely disappointing loss for the Steelers coming off that game against the Jets where they had questions about their defense. Once again, when you're looking at rushing, look at what Kenneth Walker was able to do. 13 carries for 105 rushing yards. The Steelers have a problem stopping the run so far. That much is clear this year.
Yep.
That much is crystal clear. But I'm happy. Fuck Aaron Rodgers. Browns, Ravens. Bro, the Browns just put a spanking. Or sorry, the Ravens put a spanking on the Browns. An absolute clinic by Lamar Jackson, 4 touchdowns. Like you said, Derrick Henry bottled up, but they didn't really need him to do much. They were throwing the ball a lot, and very effective. They scored quickly and easily. That's pretty much what happened in this game. And Joe Flacco's return to Baltimore didn't go over so great. The Browns were behind from the very fucking beginning of this game, basically, and Baltimore never looked back. Huge bounce back game for Baltimore after that loss to Buffalo.
Yeah, they needed to keep the steam rolling and keep the momentum going for sure. Lamar Jackson with a huge game, 4 touchdowns in the air. And, I had the Ravens winning, but I thought the Browns are going to keep it close and maybe cover. Because was this the biggest point spread of the
I think it was like 12.5 or something. Yeah,
it was like 11.5 or something like that. And I thought for sure that the Browns in a competitive AFC North matchup, the Browns usually play the AFC North pretty damn competitive. And I thought that they were going to cover that 11.5, but fuck, was I wrong. As far as the Browns covering, I still had the Ravens winning, but Derrick Henry fucking stinks. He sucks. He's lost his step. But it didn't matter because Lamar Jackson, 4 touchdowns. Look at that.
Yeah. He's on the down. He's on the decline. That fumble was it. That was the last little bit he had in him. Once he gave up that fumble, he was done.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Joe Flacco. He's still elite, man. Joe Flacco's still elite. He's still got it. Speaking of elite, Daniel Jones. Indiana Jones. The new era is here for the Indianapolis Colts. And this is a game that, I'm going to be real, did not look like it was going to end this way. It was a close game. It was a very good game. And the Broncos were winning. The Broncos were up by 2 points. Indy's getting ready to kick a field goal as time expires. They kick a field goal, and it misses wide right, I believe. And then a penalty comes in.
Penalty launching.
Leverage? Did they call it leverage?
Leverage,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. They called leverage for one of the defensive players kind of pushing to go over the top right there in the inside by the center. They get a 15-yard penalty and a re-kick, and it gets nailed, and the Colts walk off victorious. The Colts are now 2-0. I don't think any Colts fans even remember the name Anthony Richardson anymore. He is a forgotten tale, a forgotten thought. No one gives a fuck about AR-15, or I guess he's AR-5 in the NFL. No one gives a shit about that bitch anymore. This is Daniel Jones' team.
Daniel Jones' team, man. Another dude, like I said before, Daniel Jones was not the problem in New York. He wasn't the problem. It's amazing what can happen to a good quarterback when you have a good offensive line. And pretty much Daniel Jones completed the puzzle for Indianapolis on offense when you got some great running game. You have weapons at wide receiver and tight end, and you also have a competent offensive line. It's crazy. It's crazy what can happen with a change of scenery, and we're seeing it with Daniel Jones here. Bo Nix, I'm starting to hate Bo Nix even more. Like more and more each week, when I see Bo Nix just yapping and yelling at Sean Payton on the sideline, Sean Payton trying to calm Bo Nix down, and Bo Nix is just like red in the face, screaming and yelling at fucking Sean Payton, and Sean Payton does nothing about it. This is a spoiled little fucking brat. Okay, this dude Bo Nix needs to be punched in the fucking mouth. I cannot stand Bo Nix and his attitude on the sideline towards his head coach. I do like J.K. Dobbins on the Broncos. I'm not sure. After J.K. Dobbins had like a great year last year with San Diego, I'm surprised they let him walk. I think he's a great pickup for Denver. And he's been playing well the past 2 weeks. But Bo Nix is a spoiled fucking brat. I can't stand this fucker. I hope Denver just keeps sucking. They struggled against the Tennessee Titans last week and lost, I think, in deserved fashion yesterday to Indiana Jones. Fuck Bo Nix.
Yeah, look, Bo Nix had a really solid year last year. I think he can be really effective in Sean Payton and what Sean Payton wants to do. And I think that's why he likes Bo Nix as well. He did have 3 touchdowns in the game. He had 3 picks last week, in that win that they had. But it looked like they got the job done. It really did. It looked like they got the job done, and 1 leverage penalty. That's all it takes. And the Broncos are down to 1-1, and the Colts are fucking 2-0. How about that? How about that? Absolutely crazy.
Deserved.
Daniel Jones, a rock star. And this game, by the way, it is going back and forth already in the first quarter. Both C.J. Stroud and Baker Mayfield have both thrown touchdowns in this game. Looks like the Texans just kicked a field goal. Baker's going to get the ball back. For those of you guys following along, and those who, maybe had some action on prize picks as well. That's what's going on in that game. Panthers, Cardinals. This one was in play. This was in play down to the wire as well. And Bryce Young, 3-touchdown game, slinging the rock around a little bit. The Cardinals were in control of this. It felt like most of the game. The Panthers in that fourth quarter, they start to dig away a little and have a couple scores, but it felt like the Cardinals were dominating the entire game. The Panthers did give it the old college try. They did come back. And I mean, you can even see, look at this win probability. You could see Cardinals just kind of completely in control. And then all of a sudden here, it started to creep back up, thinking they could, make a run at it, but no, they did not. Kyler Murray had a terrible pick, by the way, terrible pick. Just in terms of when it happened, terrible pick that kind of led to that comeback. But Kyler Murray had a ridiculous scramble, one of the ones that only Kyler Murray can do with his
Mhm.
little legs running like a fucking toy or something. Look nuts. You see like one of those every couple games from him. I wonder if they have it here. Let's see if I can find it. Bryce Young slips. No, they don't have it. That's all right. Anyway, did you get to watching the game?
This was one I didn't get to watch too much of.
Your boy James Conner,
he got in the end
yards.
zone.
He did get in the he did get in the end zone.
Yep.
34 yards on 11 carries. Oof.
Yeah. This was one in the afternoon slot. I did take a little bit of a couch nap, so I missed a little bit of the afternoon games.
Wait, by the way, McMillan is going to be so fucking good, dude. Some of the catches he makes that don't count as catches, like things where he gets thrown out of bounds and he makes crazy one-handed catches. Dude's so hyper talented. We knew that coming out of school, but still, freak, absolute freak. So, did you watch this game?
This is probably the one I caught the most of. Yes.
Eagles beat the Chiefs. We had just an absolute clinic of quarterback play from Jalen Hurts. Let me read this to you. 15 for 22. 101 yards.
No touchdowns. No mistakes,
No touchdowns. A lot of tush pushes.
Yeah.
There is this game, and look, Kansas City didn't play great. Travis Kelce dropped a pass in his lap for a walk-in touchdown that would have put Kansas City ahead in this game, that he then dropped right into the waiting arms of an Eagles player who took it back about 50 yards. Huge swing in there.
And instead of Travis Kelce trying to make a play and tackle the guy that he just gifted an interception to, he throws his arms up and just starts complaining like it was somebody else's fault and not his.
And there was, and look, I get it sometimes. There was nothing to complain about there, like legitimately. There was nothing to complain about. And this game specifically, we've heard a lot about it before, but this game specifically has started conversations again about the tush push, about it, you know, the idea, just 2 votes short of getting banned in the offseason. And I think people are like, okay, you can keep it, but you got to enforce the fucking rules. And that is now the conversation that is being had. It's not just about the tush push itself. It's not just about this thing being okay. It's about, okay, if you're going to have it, you have to enforce the rules. And we consistently see early action from mainly the guards on this play. You can see right here before the ball snap, both the guards are diving at the bottom of the pile already. Before the ball has officially been snapped, you can see a lot of plays exactly like this here.
Yeah, that's egregious.
Stop.
Right here.
To stop. And when you get a false start penalty like that.
And that's from both of the guards. Like the one on the other side of the center is doing it too. So at this point, we're not just talking about the tush push as a play. We're talking about it being, here it is again. You can kind of see it here. Let's see if they do it. Oh, this is going to be all of the tush pushes. That's going to be fucking annoying to watch. Here's a good view of it.
Yeah, that's all day. That's false start all day.
And not only that, at half the time they run it, multiple of them are like offsides anyway. But
yes.
The thing is, if you're going to allow it to happen, if you're going to allow this play to happen, that is very advantageous specifically to this team, like you got to enforce the rules. And refs are not perfect. We're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs on the other side of the ball, which I know everybody has all their goddamn fucking, oh my God, look at this thing happen. I know, I get it. But you got to enforce the rules. And no one's perfect. No one's going to be able to fucking see every little thing, especially when this scrum is the way it is. But the reason the Eagles are so successful at it is because they're cheating during it, right? By that, I just mean they're starting faster and they're not getting flagged, which isn't really cheating. It's just the ref's not calling it. So something has to happen, right? You got to enforce the fucking rules if you have them in place. Because after this game specifically, people are kind of getting fed up with it. They're kind of getting fed up with the Eagles, who are, you know, usually in prime time, all this stuff, defending Super Bowl champions, having games that look like this.
Right.
You know, and the reason for this is because you have 4 downs and you get a free play, basically. But yeah, Jalen Hurts, Chris Jones and Jalen Hurts had a little back and forth before the end of the game. Do you see that shit?
I did see that. Chris Jones is like, you didn't even have 100 yards. And Jalen Hurts is like, we still won the fucking game. Shut your ass up.
Yeah. This is where we're at right now.
2-0 start to the season. Meanwhile, the Chiefs are about to start 0-2.
Is really soft, but you said,
Yeah.
you didn't even have 100 yards. Jalen Hurts says, we won the fucking game. Shut your ass up.
2-0 start to the season. Meanwhile, the Chiefs are about to start 0-2 and hand Patrick Mahomes his first ever 3-game losing.
But that's how they play, and that's how they win, man. What was your takeaway from the game? Patrick Mahomes once again using his legs. Like his legs were his best weapon in this game. Kansas City's now 0-2. Now, granted, they've played two really good teams. I think Chargers played really well against them, but they're 0-2. Played against two good teams. But this is now a problem. You've got some people missing at wide receiver, and Patrick Mahomes has been your leading rusher in 2 straight games.
Yeah.
That's not sustainable.
No. And they're missing Rashee Rice, who they will eventually get back. But Xavier Worthy, man, I mean, who knows how long Xavier Worthy is going to be out as well. And Travis Kelce's the guy who took him the fuck out. Also, the Eagles yesterday missing, I believe, Goddard. Goddard didn't play yesterday. And usually, he's a decent part of their offense. He's not as explosive or as important as he was, 5 years ago.
He's a chain mover, he's always a big chain mover for them. Yeah.
He's the guy you can rely on in like third and medium yardage or third and long, where that he's consistent on if you get him the ball, he's going to pick up a first down for you. But I mean, it was a good competitive game, not super exciting, but a competitive game.
It's hard to believe this is the same team that fucking won like 50-10 or whatever in the fucking Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah.
Because my God. And to be fair, Patrick Mahomes threw the ball away several times, including that pick six and stuff in the first half. But holy shit. Rough game to watch. This is a rough game for Game of the Week.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't have been.
Well, last night might have been even worse.
This was bad.
This was
AJ
a
McCarthy.
bad game.
And this is indicative of a couple things. The JJ McCarthy did not look good against the Bears. He had that one quarter where they scored. It somehow he takes the shilling for JJ McCarthy last week was wild. NFC Offensive Player of the Week with 140 yards. We got 158 this week. Why doesn't he get it now? I don't know. But they could not move the ball. He was under a decent amount of pressure. He threw 2 interceptions. The Falcons didn't look good either, outside of Bijan Robinson, who looked phenomenal. Bijan Robinson is one of my favorite people to watch run the ball. The way that the angles that he fucking takes and that shiftiness and that speed is like outrageous.
He's a very aggressive runner.
He's a very aggressive runner. You can like turn on a dime, and he's also big, right?
Yeah.
So he's phenomenal to watch. I love watching him, and he ran the ball well. The Falcons, I do not think that the Falcons scored a touchdown until the very end of the fourth quarter when Algier finally punched one in. Other than that, it was just drive, kick a field goal, drive, kick a field goal, drive, kick a field goal.
Yep.
And Minnesota's defense, it's not like they played bad. They played well. The offense was not able to pick them up. The offense was not able to do much of anything. Probably the biggest play I think I saw out of that offense was right before the first half ended. A big shot across the middle, getting a field goal range with Justin Jefferson. But now JJ McCarthy, despite looking perfectly fine in terms of health,
right?
We have now been told today that he sprained his ankle during the game. He's going to miss 2 to 4 weeks.
Yep.
I don't know if I buy that. I'm not going to lie. I don't know
Really?
if I buy that. And he was under pressure and he took a couple hits and stuff in the game, but just from the way he was moving, it didn't feel like anything was really bothering him during the game. And that can happen, adrenaline stuff. I think it's whoa, let's bring this back, right? Like this is not what we expected out of you. Let's rein this in and get control of this thing. Not Sam Darnold.
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz is now going to be the starter.
Wow.
And
So you're thinking that JJ McCarthy got benched?
I don't want to put it like that. I think they want him to take a step back and say, hey, let's rein it back in here. That's not me saying he's benched like, oh, it's fucking Carson Wentz. I have a hard time believing this is as simple as a sprained ankle, and you make the call that he's out already on like 12 hours after. It just seems weird. It just seems fucking strange. That came out very early this morning, basically. Something doesn't add up. So I'm just saying.
Okay.
I those where instead of benching him, you give him this out both publicly and privately, where he has that out to maybe take a breath, as opposed to an actual thing like that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but here's the thing: if Carson Wentz goes out there and he looks really fucking good, like Sam Darnold good last year, JJ McCarthy might not see the field again this year. And then what are you going to do? Carson Wentz is still young enough to sign, a 3-year contract. If he plays really fucking well, like get an extension on this guy, because I think, I know that they wanted to move on from Sam Darnold because they felt like JJ McCarthy was the future, and they wanted to take this high-powered offense and pretty solid defense too, and let's put it together with a young quarterback that we have on a cheap rookie contract, and let's try to get something together here. But if you're already doing that, like a precautionary benching for JJ McCarthy to gather his thoughts, maybe like a little bit of a mental health check, and like let's reel things back in, and we have a winning team here, so we're going to put in a veteran to try to, maybe show you the ropes even further while we still have time to win right now with this current team. If Carson Wentz plays really fucking good, I mean, what does that mean for JJ McCarthy going forward? If Carson Wentz is just out there fucking... Well, so say JJ McCarthy's out for 4 weeks. Carson Wentz goes 4-0. Are you benching Carson Wentz? I don't think so.
Yeah. Again, we're speculating. He looked bad. And I'm going to say exactly what I said last week. JJ McCarthy looked bad in the Bears game. He looked bad, really bad for the first 3 quarters. They came alive in the fourth. And at that point, I'm saying, well, the Bears were missing 3 of their starters. The defense looked pretty solid in the first 3. We have now just seen this Bears defense get completely lambasted and obliterated and butt fucked and like tombstone pile drived. Okay. The Bears defense is god awful. Yet we saw what we saw in the first 3 quarters of the Vikings game from JJ. And it's not a knock. Like, he's a rookie. He legitimately is a fucking rookie. That's just the reality. I know he was in the league last year, but he sat the entire time.
Yeah.
These are his first
rookie
2
year
games.
for sure.
These are his first 2 games. So it's just I have a hard time believing with the way he was moving at the end of the game last night because I watched the whole fucking game. With the way he was moving, I have a hard time believing that they ruled him out for next week already with a sprained ankle.
Yeah.
I just doesn't make sense to me. Like if anything, it would be like, hey, questionable or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But no, already done. That was like 12 hours after the game ended that happened.
What if he went to the locker room pissed off and he kicked a fucking cooler?
That's how Joe Burrow got turf toe, actually.
yeah. Who knows, man? JJ McCarthy, he kicked a helmet out of frustration and broke his fucking ankle.
But the game was fucking awful. Penix had a couple nice throws, had a couple nice throws in the game. They just really weren't able to string together too much. Drake London just was not able to get all that active. Kyle Pitts, I'm sorry to be a Kyle Pitts doomer if you drafted him again in fantasy football, but holy shit. Haven't you learned your lesson yet?
Was it Pitts or London that had a fumble in the first half? Like big play, fumble, turnover.
I don't remember.
I think it was London.
It might have been Drake London off the top of my head. Bijan looked great.
Solid.
Loved watching him. But other than that, that's all we had for Sunday. As we speak, the Buccaneers are driving. They are in the red zone at the Houston 19-yard line. It looks like they're going to score somehow, some way, whether it's field goal or touchdown. But then tonight we got Chargers Raiders. This is a good point. What a cool story for the Atlanta kicker last night. Yeah, Younghoe Koo got cut after missing that last week. And then that's all this dude did. That's all the Atlanta Falcons did all night was kick fucking field goals with their brand new field goal kicker who didn't even know his teammates' names. Had to be introduced to Leonard Floyd in the post-game interview. He kicked like 6 fucking field goals or whatever. Just a fucking hell of a night for that dude.
Yep.
Just a hell of a night. Yeah, I got Chargers in this game. Do you pick Chargers in this game?
I picked the Raiders.
You picked the Raiders in this game. Okay.
I picked the Raiders. And
what about this game? You picked the Bucks?
I had the Bucks. Yeah.
All right. Damn straight. Yep. I did too. So we'll see what happens. Bucky Irving took a carry for 4 yards. Beardo. Wait, actually, let me check and make sure. I think we're good over on the Rumble side. We got a couple to catch up with here. Blue-Eyed Scorpio says leverage has only been called in 1.9% of field goal attempts. It was rigged by Masad. Hey, you guys can't play discipline. That's your problem. Bo Nix screaming on the sidelines, bro. No discipline. And it's not like Bo Nix is a young player. Bo Nix is like 37 years old. Okay? Bo Nix was in college for 9 years. It's not like he's some 21-year-old or something. Jalen Hurts listens to Al Davis. Just win, baby.
Touchdown Bucks.
Who was it?
The rookie wide receiver. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name from Ohio State.
Yeah, that's his third of the year already, huh?
Yeah. Igbuka?
I say Igbuka, yeah. I don't know if it's right or not, but some random variation of tribal noises.
Yeah.
Big Mike. Can we get some women's beach volleyball coverage? Asking for a friend.
I know nothing about it.
During the next Olympics, we'll think about it. As long as they're hot.
Yeah.
As long as they're hot. All right. That's all we got, boys. Thanks for tuning in to Monday Evening Quarterback. We'll be back next week. We'll also be live on Sunday for Sports Wars. Beardy, you got anything going on, man?
I'm about to fire up a live stream right now on Geeks and Gamers Locals and watch the rest of this Buccaneers Texans game. So if you guys are members over on Locals, you guys will be able to do a watch party over there with us.
There you go. So check that out. Watch the last 3 quarters of that game. Buccaneers going to dominate CJ Stroud in the Houston Texans. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week. Bye, everybody.